Hello everyone and welcome back to the Eltriancraft server. We have some big plans for today. We're going to do a lot of building for a lot of different things, but the first thing that I wanted to do was improve and build something that's already here, which is our Skelly farm that looks a little unfinished, to say the least. So I'm gonna spend a little time. We're going to improve the area down here a bit, and then we can build something at the top so there's not just a ladder sticking into the ground. But first we're gonna improve down here. Okay, I've gotten quite a bit of work done on the old Skelly farm, and it is looking pretty good if I do say so myself. Yeah, I'm loving the look of this. This little hill here needs some work, but as far as this goes, looking pretty good, I think. Interior's a little lacking, but don't have much space. And then right down here, boom, looking real nice. We can expand here if we want to. Certainly, but yeah, we got a on-off switch that's connected just to redstone lamps to stop them from spawning, and yeah, it's looking pretty nice. So yeah, it's not just some random hole in the ground that looks like garbage anymore. So continuing on with that sort of theme for this episode, I want to get some farms built. So I want to do a few farms. It's going to help us with some stuff that we need, i.e. moss. I want to do a honey farm, and then probably a sugarcane farm and a moss farm, and maybe move this somewhere else as well. And this, you know, maybe move these guys somewhere. The point is, I want to build some farms, but I want them all to be in their own little hobbit hole. A, just to have this area be expanded a bit and look nice, but B, that way if everything isn't just in one spot, you know, if it's all just in with my storage system, it's all, you know, I don't go in it. That's where I live. You know, if everything is spread out a bit, then that forces me to explore my own base. So that is definitely what we're going to do. I think the next thing that we need to build is the moss farm, because we'll probably be using a bunch of that with all the different builds. So I know there's quite a few resources that I'm going to have to gather for that, including observers, I think. So I'm going to have to go into the nether and get quartz. So I'm going to see what I need and gather everything up and see you guys when it is ready to be built. I got all the stuff that I need, and I dug out this big hole here that should fit the moss farm in. So I'm going to go ahead, take all this, and build up the farm. Alright guys, the moss farm is up and running. I have run it a little bit, and we've got a decent amount of moss here. But now I have to try and make this look good, so we're going to build another hobbit hole thing here. I think I want to use jungle wood, just, you know, a little bit of variation from all the ones that we've built so far. So I'm going to try that, and maybe some oak and some bamboo. And then I can figure out something for the interior as well. Okay, I have been quite busy, and I've finished up the hobbit hole for the moss farm. There it is on the exterior. I think it looks pretty nice, but I'm really happy with what I did on the interiors. Here's kind of the entranceway, and then this I really, really like. With the deep slate and the moss, I think I did a really good job on the ceiling here. Not to pat my own back or anything, but I really like what I came up with for this on the edges there with it coming down. And the walls, yeah. And I think the walls look really good with the lighting that I've chosen because it's kind of darker on the walls. And yeah, it's simple, but I think it looks pretty good. And why do I have to make it look good? I don't know, because all I'll be in here for is grabbing some moss. But the next one that I want to build is a little honeycomb farm. Why do I need honeycomb? I'm not entirely sure. But I think it's going to come in useful at some point, either for wax and copper or building or crafting candles, or just the honeycomb block in general. So yeah, we're gonna build a small little honeycomb farm. I think I want to put it tuck it right into here. We should have enough room from the moss farm. Yeah, this one's gonna be pretty small, so I'm going to see what I need to get for that, see how much space it's gonna take out, and dig it out, and then build the farm up. Okay, so this may not have been the optimal spot for the farm, especially the way that I'm trying to set it up. I wanted to push it this way, and we have run into the wall, but I think we're going to be able to make it fit in this space here, and hopefully, I think at some point, yep, this goes into that, but we can probably terraform it. Yeah, we'll definitely be able to terraform this a bit to make it look all nice, and then we'll just use deep slate on the walls again to match up with that. So everything should work out, but right now we're gonna build up the farm. Well, I realized that I was supposed to build this one back, but I think we're going to work with it. I don't want to try to move these beehives again, so we're just going to make this work, and we will beautify this little space here, and I will show you guys the result. Well, certainly not my best work, but I think it works well enough. I might come back here at some point and improve. I'm not loving the birch planks here, but I was trying to do the whole arch thing, but make it smaller than the other two, and it didn't quite work out, but I think it's all right. I'm also not loving the oak here. I think it either needs more oak or this just needs to be birch. But we'll figure that out later. There's a lot of oak in here. I do like the interior. It's very small, a little cramped, but really the only thing we need is just this. There's a little maintenance door here if anything needs readjusted or I need to refill the shears, which probably going to take a long time anyway. So yeah, but it is working pretty well. We've gotten a good amount of honey in, or honeycomb, enough to do some decorations here at least. So what I want to do now is clean up these little messes that I've made, kind of try and sort them into the boat if I have room. I am realizing now that the boat is not the best storage. I'm running out of room rather quickly, but hopefully we'll be able to, yeah, I'm running out of room very quickly. Yeah, it's not great, but on the bright side, as I'm recording this, it is Saturday. I believe on Monday we are doing the dragon fight, so we will be able to get some shulkers, and soon after that I am going to go ahead and build my storage room, which I have already planned out and everything, and I am very excited for. I think it's going to be very good. But anyway, we are going to clean this up, and then I want to just connect up these with the paths here. And then finally for this episode, I think, because we're getting pretty close to the end fight and I want that to be its own separate episode, I want to try and figure out a lighting system that I can do along the paths, because when it gets night, a lot of mobs spawn around here, and I'd like to try and stop that from happening, but I'm not entirely sure how to do it, because I think something like street lamps really takes away the vibe, because, you know, like, this kind of area wouldn't have street lights, you know, they're not that advanced yet, but I'll try to figure something out. But firstly, let's get this cleaned up. Alright guys, I finished up the paths and I installed these lanterns in here. I don't think they look too bad. They also don't look great, but we have a path going to the honey farm and a path up here going to the moss farm. I'm not sure about these posts, but I think, at least for now, they'll work, and maybe I'll come up with something a little better in the future. But there is one more thing that I have thought to do this episode, and then we will end it off. But I want to build us up a little shop. With my skeleton farm, I have a few more bones than I really need, so I'm going to sell them off, and I have a, well, we'll say an interesting idea of what shop to build. So let's time-lapse it, and I will show you guys the end result. Well, we have Sans Undertale in the flesh, in the bone here for my bone shop, and he looks pretty good tucked away back here. I have a little bit of regret, but you know, it's funny, and we've got some bone puns here. So yeah, we're having some fun. We got some good supply. We got 16 blocks for 1 diamond. I think that's decent. That's I don't actually know what the conversion of that is on bone meal. It's got to be, oh yeah, that's a pretty good amount of bone meal. So yeah, for now at least, that's a good amount to do, and I'll be farming some skeletons. Oh, seeing him in the distance there is hilarious. I'll be farming some skeletons in between episodes, but for right now, I think we can end it here, and I am very excited for next episode, where we will be going to the end. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!